And then keep the applause going for David Marlett. David Marlett. Come on, big round of applause for David.
You might be surprised from this accent, but I don't care too much for people who kill animals for sport. But I've always had a fascination with duck hunting. And not the Elmer Fudd kind of duck hunting, but the kind that you see on the cover of an Orvis hunting catalog. You know, with the really handsome black Labrador retriever with the beautiful mallard in its mouth. Now, there's 5 things you need for an Orvis-style hunt. You need a gun, good gun, and you need camo, the right kind of camo, and you need a duck call, and you need a pond, and of course, you need a fearless dog. You need a good Labrador retriever. So I decided I was going to take up on this, and I got a gun and took up skeet shooting, got pretty good at it, even got a duck call and learned it, but I needed a dog. And so I decided I'd get 2, a male and a female, and I bought them from a champion breeder of labs. And, well, a good hunting dog needs a good name. So I named mine Marshall, Dylan, and Miss Kitty from Gunsmoke, of course. And after about 3 years, it became pretty apparent that Miss Kitty was all dog. And there was just absolutely nothing that dog wouldn't retrieve anywhere, anytime, including in water, of course, is what labs are known for. But Dylan, well, Dylan, at least he had good looks going for him. He was, Orvis cover model looking, good looking, big, tall dog with a square jaw and black, sleek hair, but dumb. He would go out with me to skeet shooting, but he would care less whatever I was shooting. He would just catch the shells as they were ejecting from my gun, and it took him a long time he had to keep relearning that they were hot. And so, but the other biggest problem with him was he was horribly afraid of water, absolutely scared stiff of water. He'd throw something out in the pond, and he'd stand on the shore and whine and wait for Kitty to bring it back, then steal it from her and hand it to me as if I hadn't just seen his crime. And if Kitty wasn't there, anything in the water was staying there. Well, eventually I got invited to go duck hunting, and I was pretty excited about it. Finally, I was going to get to go. But by about this time, I had learned that Kitty was gun shy. She'd get all upset at the sound of guns, so I couldn't take her, so I just looked at Dylan and said, well, dummy, I guess it's just you and me. So we showed up one very cold December morning out at the North Texas ranch, and all ready to go. I was in my Orvis camo duck hunting gear. Dylan was in his black fur. And we sat, and the 2 other gentlemen that were there, one of them got out and he whistled. And out from his trucks came the most gorgeous black Labrador retriever you've ever seen. He comes running up and he says, "This is my dog, Asesino de los Patos, duck assassin. He's a 4-time champion field trials." Well, shit. I looked down, Dylan's licking his dick in the dirt, and I said, well, there's my dog, Marshall Dylan, from Gunsmoke. Well, we all took out, and, 3 of us, and Asesino de los Patos, and Aquafobia de los Pollos, and so we get out there. Now, I said there was 5 things you need. There's actually a 6th. You need a duck who's willing to die for the cause. And we've been out there for 2 hours in the cold, and it had started to snow, and there was no ducks. And so they too, in their little fancy pants duck assassin, went off back to the truck. And I couldn't leave. I mean, all I wanted was just one mallard. I just wanted one time. I really wasn't into it too much. I just wanted one. So Dylan and I went off to a pond, and we set up, and I called my duck call. And sure enough, here come some ducks flying in, and they're circling. And my heart was racing, and I aimed, and I fired, bam! And Dylan caught the shell. And that bird fell from the sky and landed right out there in the middle of that pond. There was my mallard. How was I going to get it? I looked at the duck, and I looked at Dylan. He looked at me, and I said, go on, go get it, go get it, go get it. And he just spit out the shotgun shell like it was chewing tobacco and walked away. Well, God damn it. I had to grit my teeth and I put down my gun and I just waded straight out into that ice cold water. The whole time staring at that duck ahead and the water's rising and I'm grumbling and griping, Dylan, you're the worst, sorriest excuse of a dog any man's ever had. And I finally got out there, and about that time I grabbed that duck, water's up to my chin, and my feet went out from under me, and I went down. My boots were full of water, and it was dark, and water was rushing up my nose, and I'm flailing around trying to find the bottom, and suddenly I feel this grab pulling me backwards and up, and as my face hit the surface, there was Dylan holding onto my jacket, paddling hard, turning for the shore. Well, my feet found the ground, and I reached, I got out, and walked the rest of the way. He went in and was shaking off the water, and I went up, and I was hugging and holding him. Of course, he took the duck away from me. And there was my Orvis catalog image, the handsome lab with the duck in his mouth. Of course, I had retrieved it for him. But it didn't matter, because right then and there, not only was he a full-on Labrador retriever, and not only was he greater than anything Asesino de los Patos was ever going to be, but Marshall Dillon surpassed any dog that had ever graced the cover of an Orvis catalog.
David Marlett, come on.